last 3 decades have seen the expansion of upland cash crops above upper northeast Thailand. Recently, as prices have dropped while sugarcane prices were supported and sugar mills relocated in this region, farmers have been converting low-yielding and drought-prone upper paddies into sugarcane plantations. The question is the decision-making process of the farmers, which leads to the replacement of rice to sugarcane, and the question of the future adaptation of farmers if the price of sugarcane drops. Scientists' knowledge and stakeholders' knowledge on decision-making and interactions are needed to collectively identify and assess scenarios of change. A synthesis of the existing knowledge about the spatial, technical and institutional organization of the cropping and farming systems was prepared. Diagrams were used to synthesize the interdisciplinary knowledge on farmers' decision-making for crop allocation and on stakeholder decision to engage in the sugarcane chain as quota leaders. The synthesis of existing knowledge was used to conceive a role-playing game to validate the research team understanding of the situation and its dynamics. A block model represents an archetypal watershed with lowland, highland and intermediary zone. Strips of paper represent farm plots. The size, position and distribution of plots were decided according to distribution obtained from surveys. Stickers of different colors were used to represent crops. Pink stands for sugarcane, dark and light yellow for glutinous and non-glutinous rice. 12 farmers place their actual situation in the village. One sugar mill buys the sugarcane and one market buys other crops. Among the farmers, 4 were assigned the role of quota leader who register at the sugar mill and buy sugarcane from the farmers. Two steps were played. First, the roles and rules were assigned by the organizers. Farmers decide their crop allocation. Sugarcane is sold to quota leader. The interactions are free. Other products are sold to the market. The quota leader sells the sugarcane to the sugar mill. Second, the organizers asked the farmers if anything needed to be modified. The farmers modified the position of their plots. They introduced farm ponds, red bins, and started integrated farming. They were free to register as quota leader at the sugar mill. During the course of the game, the organizers lowered gradually the price of the sugarcane to observe changes in players' behavior. This game was repeated 2 times, one time in the same village with different farmers, one time in another village. Individual interviews took place to criticize the game and discuss what happened during the game, to understand how they relate the game with real circumstances, to discuss on the scenario which was imposed during the game. A multi-agent model with features similar to those of the role-playing game was built and discussed with farmers. The interface is very similar to the role-playing game. Several scenarios for future land use were collectively identified, simulated and discussed. The game and simulations were useful for 2 aspects. First, to check the hypotheses of the researchers and identify new knowledge. Concerning the decision on crop allocations, farmers keep a minimum of plots for glutinous rice self-consumption located in the lowland. A plan is used for sugarcane and cassava. The transition zone shows a maximum of crop diversity. The current drop in sugarcane prices could stimulate farmers to further diversify their production system, increase livestock, fish, and horticultural production, require improved access to water from farm ponds. Concerning the exchange system for sugarcane, the networks of exchange are highly structured. On the one hand, local quota leaders are embedded in kinship and village networks. On the other hand, strong external quota leaders with high capital can have a strong influence on the production of sugarcane through middlemen in the villages. Second, to enhance the sharing of knowledge among stakeholders. It wakes up the brain. Role-playing games is taken seriously and facilitate exchange of knowledge among stakeholders and researchers. Farmers implement their project during the game or test new opportunities such as farm ponds and integrated farming. Players say they learn how others were thinking and planning their choice of crops. The players ask to keep the game in the village to organize it by themselves. Simulation models are good mediating tools. Stakeholders can comment indirectly on action of other actors. Simulation will be used to explore scenarios for more diversified farming systems and improve exchanges among stakeholders.